What's up, guys? This is the Real Quaid with another Poison Gym challenge. This is the third match of me versus Dryadne. He's using the same team as last time, not much to say about it, but you probably will notice if you've been watching my videos that I have a new member on my team. I've been noticing that in most of my battles, Dryadne kind of doesn't do very much. I've been a little disappointed with his contribution to the team, so I replaced him with Scolipede. So hopefully in the future it'll be a better fit for the team. Scolipede is significantly faster than Dryadne, and he actually has the same attack value, so hoping the speed and just the move diversity that I get with him will be a better fit. So in this one I decide, since Scolipede's my new Pokemon, this is the first time Dryadne's seen it, I'm going to bluff with him and just assume that he thinks that it's actually Scolipede when it is in fact Zoroark, leading with him for a lot of the same reasons as before, just because I don't fear much from his team. So he goes for a Raw Tag on turn 1 into Infernape, who pretty much beats Zoroark in a lot of cases, so I switch to Muck to tank the hit. He goes for an Overheat. Muck doesn't really mind it. He's going to survive. Muck on against his team doesn't do a whole lot, but he's going to be able to tank Infernape pretty well here. So Infernape's going to be forced to switch, or he's going to be able to get set up on. So I was expecting a switch here, which he does, which is kind of what I expected. I really wasn't sure. I was going to come right at him, whoever he sent out. So he sends out his Gliscor. I go for the Brick Break. Probably should have gone for the Poison Jab, but didn't really matter. It didn't do enough damage to beat. Gliscor resists Poison Jab anyway, so it's not going to be much more damage. It's just the chance of poisoning him. So I'm expecting an Earthquake, so I switch to Crobat for the free switch, and he does come at me with an Earthquake, which is awesome. And then I come right at him with a Super Fang. Missed him. He comes in with Stone Edge, missed me. So that was the probably most exciting turn, I think, in the whole battle. We'll try it again. Super Fang takes off half of his health. Stone Edge is going to hit Crobat pretty hard. But as I'd mentioned in previous videos, my Crobat is built as a tank, so he's going to survive this, which I expected. It did more than I expected to, but I know I can beat him. If he keeps Gliscor in, I will eventually beat him because of the Roost and the stuff you've seen before. So he switches into his Tyranitar, and I wasn't sure if he was going to switch or not. I decided to Roost anyway, just to heal up. If he would have come at me with Stone Edge, I would have been in pretty good shape. But it didn't come to that. And I know Tyranitar is going to beat me with a Stone Edge. If Gliscor did that much damage, Tyranitar for sure is going to knock out Crobat. But I don't really want to switch anyone else in, because I don't know if he's predicting that or what else he has, what kind of set he's really running. I've only seen one move off his Tyranitar, which is Earthquake. So I decided to keep Crobat in, just do some damage. He's going to fall to the Stone Edge. But again, I didn't want to risk anybody else, really. So I figured Crobat, he went down a little earlier than I wanted, but I didn't really have much choice. So I send in my Zoroark, figuring, alright, let's just finish him here with a Focus Blast. He's got a Choice Scarf. So I had the unfortunate luck of having my Scolipede in the back, who is weak to rocks. So he comes right at him. It was in fact Zoroark. He's able to one-shot him. If I'd had somebody like Nidoking in the back with the resistance, I might have forced a switch, but unfortunately it didn't come to that. So I send out my Toxicroak, the MVP from the previous video, also the previous video against Hayden. Toxicroak's been pretty much earning his keep here. I expected a switch, because Tyranitar fears fighting moves like crazy, so he does switch to Gengar. Thanks to the Sandstorm, his Focus Sash is broken, which is awesome, because you're about to see why I love my Toxicroak. I call him my checkmate Toxicroak, because once he's got the sub up, he can either come at you with a Focus Punch or with a Sucker Punch. So if you try to break the sub, he's going to hit you with a Sucker Punch. If you don't, he's just going to be able to Focus Punch you all day. And thankfully, Gengar, with the weakness and the bad defenses, he's going to fall in one shot to that all day. So Toxicroak gains another on his knockout list. Dryadne sends out the Breloom, which is another one that worked out well for me. He's going to take a really powerful Ice Punch. Kind of expected it to knock him out, but he is a Poison Heal, so he's probably got some HP investment in there. he comes at me with a seed bomb, which will break the sub pretty much without question. Toxicroak does resist it, but it's not a big deal. So I'm expecting him to switch once again, just because if he doesn't, Breloom will fall to another Ice Punch. So I'm expecting I'm going to take this turn to enjoy a free setup here. Even if he doesn't switch, then the worst that happens is I lose a sub, and then we're back to where we started, really. So he does send out Metagross, which is perfect, because it'll allow me to get my sub up for another Focus Punch. So Toxicroak is continuing to do work throughout the battle here. He's taking down one. He's really weak in Breloom. He's going to hit Metagross for about half his health again with another Focus Punch, no problem. So he learned his lesson from the previous battle. Instead of setting up the rocks, he's actually going to break the sub, which is good. So Substitute falls, but he's still going to take a powerful Focus Punch, and then be left with a little under half his health. So Toxicroak is doing his best here, even though we're down Crobat. Toxicroak sort of keeping me in it right now. But I wasn't sure what he was expecting at this point. I was kind of hoping he was expecting a switch, and that he would set up Stealth Rocks or do something else, but he comes right at me with a Meteor Mash, so he's going to break my sub. I was hoping I'd be able to get a free sub out of it, and then be able to finish him off with a second Focus Punch. Didn't work out that way. So I know he's going to come at me. Toxicroak only has enough HP for maybe one more sub. I haven't done the calculation to know if he can even make one at this point, because he's already made 3 and he's in the sand. So I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to pull him back. He's Meteor Match me, so I'm going to send out Muck to take it. He's going to be able to survive this probably, because his Metagross is more tanky. I think he's got the leftovers, which leads me to believe he's a tank setup. So Muck does manage to survive, just barely. He's going to lose to his next attack anyway, for sure, if he does come at me. I attempt to attack him here with a Brick Break, but he's going to Bullet Punch me. It doesn't come to that. So Muck is now finished. This is a situation where I would love to have my Zoroark back, because he would have been able to finish him off no problem. But I have the next best thing to my Zoroark still waiting. I still have my Nidoking. So now this is where it kind of gets a little cheeky. I was expecting a switch into Gliscor, fearing an Earth Power, but he doesn't. He keeps in his Metagross to continue racking up damage, and that I was in pretty bad shape before this point. And now I'm doomed, because I have no counter to his Metagross left alive. Really, he's just one-shots me with a Meteor Mash. If I had come at him with an Earth Power, I would have been able to knock him out easily. I still would have had to deal with Tyranitar and Gliscor, and Breloom wasn't really a problem just because he's so slow and weak at this point. But it definitely would have been an uphill battle, the remaining part of it. But now that Metagross is alive and I lost my Nidoking in one shot, there's nothing more I can do about it. So new recruit Scolipede comes in, gets him with a super effective Earthquake, but thanks to the leftovers, he's healed up enough that he's going to survive it. He's going to finish off Scolipede in one hit. Got a Focus Sash, but in the sand he's going to lose anyway here, which means the only one I've got left is my Toxicroak, who's probably going to be incapable of even setting up a sub because he's so weak at this point. But I still have my pride. My Toxicroak will not go down without a proper battle here, so I'm going to send him out. I, of course, expect him to come at me, so I'm going to use a Sucker Punch and just do what I can here. Manages to knock out Metagross, so Toxicroak escapes the battle with at least his pride intact. Basically finishing the job he'd done earlier with the first Focus Punch. Still in pretty bad shape, though. I'm not going to be able to outspeed his Tyranitar for sure. He just sends out Infernape. I Sucker Punch him. I don't expect it to do much. He's resistant to it. Does about a quarter of his health, and then he's going to finish me off with a Stab Overheat. So, third time's the charm for Dryadne. Congratulations on your badge. And hopefully we'll be able to see more action of Scolipede in the future, as he has become my new 6th team member. So I'm hoping it'll work out well for me. Dryadne kind of been disappointing lately, so we'll see how it works out. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.